Got a kitten climber. I guess a kitten that is a climber. It's a me climber. Oh, it's Bombay again. So Bombay this morning has been super active. He's run out the door 2 or 3 times already. Every time the door opens, he's out it. He's got important kitten things to do. Apparently, he just wants to explore every frontier. And the current one is me. Hi, bud. So that just started. It's very sweet though. These kids are so wonderful and sweet. I'm so flattered by little tiny kittens. Who would have thought? I'm at a point in my life where 7 little kittens flatter me. But every morning or every time actually, not just in the morning, every time I come into the room, they're all squeaking and running at me, and they want to know what I'm doing, and they follow me around. And if I slow down for 1 second, they're all in my lap. There's always 1 or 2 of them in my lap at any given moment. Um, it's great. I can't. This is the wonderful part about fostering. Even if right now it's coming with some of the worst parts of fostering, which include lots and lots of poop to clean up. They're getting a lot better about using the litter box though, and we're working on it. Hal here. This is Halifax. Um, as you know, Hal has kind of been the holdout as far as learning to do the things that his brothers have already learned. But we had a breakthrough yesterday, I should say. We had a breakthrough last night. DJ and I have been trying to get him to eat solid food because not only is he late to that party, but it seems like mom's milk is starting to have a bad effect on him, which happens. And he had some cheesy vomit the other day, and we thought, all right, it's really time to help him out even more, even harder. So, as I tried to mention yesterday, we helped him out a little bit with a syringe. We would put food in a syringe and use the syringe in his mouth, and he really liked that, actually. He would chew on the syringe, and he'd eat all the food, and he seemed like he was really enjoying it. So, getting him to switch from there to eating on his own wasn't as hard as I might have thought. It was a good way to get him started. And last night we did our usual thing where I take a little bit of food and I put it in on the roof of his mouth with my finger. I take a little bit of food on the end of my finger. I basically smear it on the roof of his mouth. We do this for all the kittens to get them started. And when he eats that, a lot of times the kittens will be like, that wasn't so bad. And they'll start looking for more food, and you can give it to them. And they will just keep right on eating. And Hal's been super resistant to that technique before. But last night we did it, and I kept feeding him with food just in my hand. Then I'd give him the first piece on the roof of his mouth, and then I'd take a little bit of, like DJ Wright likes to roll her food in little balls so that it's nice and warm by her fingers, and then let the kitten eat it from her hand. And he was doing that, which was a huge step forward. So he actually ate on his own for the first time from my hand, and that was super nice last night. And then this morning I came in, and I just gave him a tiny bit of food on the roof of his mouth because he wasn't getting it, and switched him immediately to eating right from the food dish. And he just sat there and ate all on his own from the food dish for several minutes. So I feel like that's not Hal, though. I mean, not that I was trying to stay on him. Here he is. I feel like he's really starting to get that lesson, which is good. However, he still is liking to poop outside of the litter box. As you saw in yesterday's close-up, he's picked a spot next to the food dishes that is his spot he wants to poop, and he did it again this morning right there. So I'm going to do what I said in yesterday's close-up. I'm going to put a third tiny kitten litter box over there for him. Oh, and if you haven't seen Port yet, it's because she let herself out this morning and was just completely missing in action. But it sounds like she's here. Port, you want to come back in? There we go. I say let herself out. I just mean I opened the door and she was gone. She had lots of exploring she wanted to do, and because Flower and her kittens are all put up in their room, I thought, no harm, she can go out and explore all she wants because I trust her completely with the faculty. It's just Flower and her kittens that I would worry about. So now she's back. Hi, Port. Hi, let me meet you for a minute. Hi. You've been training me. Port's one of those cats that will train you to do what she wants. And she's been slowly training me to pet her the way that she wants. But it's mutual. I'm working on teaching her to learn to enjoy being picked up, or at least deal with it. And I don't know who's making the most progress so far, but we're getting there. So there we go. Let's see, what else do I need to tell you about? There are some other things I need to tell you about. Okay, um, mostly to do with the Brady bunch, the older kittens, who we will go see in a few minutes. But the Brady bunch, first off, I checked all of our schedules and our adoptions and stuff. Finally, I got caught up on that. And it turns out that the Brady bunch, those are the older kittens that are just about 3 months old now, I think. And like I said, we'll go see them at the end. They are the boys, three of the boys are scheduled for their neuters on the 19th, which I believe is just next Monday. It's coming right up. So that is rye and corn and potato will be getting their neuters on Monday the 19th. And that's the same time, as I've mentioned, that their mom, Flower, will be going in for a recheck to figure out when we can get her spay. So that's coming right up real fast, too fast, actually. Once I realized the date was right here, I was a little alarmed, but then what I'm going to tell you next alarmed me even more. How do you like that? I'm bringing the clickbait headlines right into the show. But it's actually honest, too, which is that I checked on the adopters for the Brady Bunch, and it turns out that Flower and Corn are being adopted together, which is great news. And that means it's rye and potato that are being adopted together, and that's also great news. And then Millet, of course, as you know, is staying on here for a while, for several months before we find Millet his adopter. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So the thing I mentioned, though, that was somewhat alarming is I reached out to those adopters yesterday to invite them to join us on Discord. I should say neither of the adopters are on our Discord currently, but they've both been sent invites, and I think they're both going to join. One of them indicated they would join for sure, but also indicated that they would be ready to pick up rye and potato next week, just shortly after the graduation surgery. I don't remember exactly what day they said, but I feel like it was that Wednesday or Thursday, which would be about the earliest we would do it, would be Wednesday. Give them a couple days to recover, even though boys recover very quickly. So they will be going real fast. On the other hand, we've got a bit of a reprieve with Flour and Corn because, as we know, we haven't quite scheduled Flour's surgery yet, and that's all. We're not even going to find out until Monday the 19th, so that one's probably going to be a little bit longer. And then, like you know, Millet's just going to stay here for months before we get him adopted. Um, Durfleader Dog asks a good question. You know how they heard about the kittens, through YouTube or directly from Dawes? Actually, that's not the question I thought you were asking. So that's a good question too. I don't know for sure, but all these applications come in through the application on our website, so I assume they hear from us. Um, which I know it seems a little strange when they're not on our Discord, but it's not unusual. It does happen quite a bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, social media is just not for them, and they'll never join the Discord, and that's okay too. I know we all want to hear how the kittens are doing after their graduation, but it's certainly not a requirement to be part of that community to adopt a Kitten Academy kitten. And that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. I don't think I mentioned that is a real contributing factor here in how wonderful these adoptions are. Both of them are very local, not super local like they don't live on our street, but very local like they live within about 15 or 20 minutes drive from here. So that's pretty cool. They're right in the next towns over, and that could potentially mean that they will do very well at keeping in touch. And if they don't, it means I can go and like toilet paper their house or something. What do you do in those cases? Some rotten eggs? I don't know. No, I don't actually endorse any such activity. I just want to be clear about that. It was just a joke. Um, so it's sad to know that at least some of those kids are going to go very soon now, but it's also good to know that they're going to great homes that are nearby and that probably will continue to hear about them, which is an agenda I am definitely going to push with their adopters. At the very least, I practically insist that all adopters at least keep in touch with me so I can pass along the news. Um, Now, the question that I thought that you were asking was completely forgotten now. I had something that you'd prompted me that I wanted to talk about, and now it's just gone. Look how cute he is. Yeah, that's my brain right now. It's just as empty as what he's doing. He's just staring like mystified. No idea. I don't know which one this is because I'm not good at telling just by. Oh wait, I can tell though. Here's how you can tell. If you look at the white on his muzzle, this side is much bigger than that side, and that means this is Puget. Because Puget, you just think West Coast, and that means that his west white spot is the bigger one. I think. Let's see if that's right. Come on, buddy. Now we got to double check. We got to check. You do look floofy too. Yep, there's the spot. That's Puget. Another way to tell is Puget's very floofy, but he's got some days where he looks super floofy, and some days like right now he doesn't look super floofy. He is super floofy though. Oh, oh my goodness, it's a pile on now. What was I gonna say? It was something about adoptions, and I don't know. It's gone. The moment's passed. You know what? I get plenty of things to ramble about, so it's fine. So, is that Dorota P? The poop is actually we're doing pretty good on the poop this morning. I think it's hard to tell how much of it is the kittens have figured things out and how much of it is that Port does like to clean things up before I come in if she gets the chance. So, like I mentioned, I know that Halifax had a poop that was out of place in the early morning, and I also know that Port tried to clean it up, and there was just a little bit of a mess left over for me to take care of. Other than that, I didn't find any poops out of place this morning, which, again, it leaves me in some uncertainty whether there weren't any or whether Port just got to them before I did. We have very different cleaning styles, by the way. I do not use my tongue to clean it up, but she seems to think that's the best way. I don't know. I haven't tried it, and I'm not likely to unless we run out of Mr. Clean. It's good to have a backup plan, though, isn't it? Hey, buddy, look how cute you are, too. This is Bombay once again. He's just being a little bit of an attention hog this morning and so cute for it. They've all discovered the hanging basket now. That's sort of somebody was saying that that's sort of like a stage of development at Kitten Academy. So these kids are firmly in the basket stage of development. The hanging basket. DJ also bought one of those. I don't know what you call it. It looks sort of like the famous egg chair, the one that you see in Men in Black, but it's a perfect sphere shape bed for kittens. And I know you've probably seen it because I bought one for the house, and then DJ, for some reason, thought that I had given it away with one of the adopted cats, which we do. We give their favorite beds with them. But that wasn't the favorite of anybody, so it's still here. And she bought another one for these kittens because she liked it so much, which is all a long way of saying probably at some point we're going to bring that in too. And they're very nice beds. I mean, very, very nice. But I don't know if there's such a big hit with the cats. I do catch the faculty, and if I put it in the sunny spot, then the faculty definitely like to sit in it, but only if it's in a sunny spot. Oh, hi, Aunt. I can tell you just from your silly little ant face. Oh, hi. Yes, that was the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys. Nothing to do with adoptions, but this has to do with just news. So, oh, Sarah, before I get to that, because I won't forget, Sarah asked, what is the chances of Millet staying on as faculty? Um, and they're very, very slim chances, is what I would say. We did talk about it a lot on the Discord chat, and I think some people didn't realize that when DJ was making a strong case for us to keep him, she was really doing it just sort of half joking, as you might do. She didn't really mean it all that seriously, and we had a discussion about it, and we definitely both agree that the best thing for Millet would be to see him get adopted by the right family. And I don't know if the right family just means anybody, or if there's going to be some special care that Millet is going to need after his surgery that somebody would want to take care of. I really don't know the answer to that yet, so we're going to find out. But it is, I think, really important for us to get him adopted out to the right family rather than try to keep him on his faculty. We've got a lot of reasons for that. And I think many of those are reasons that I've talked about just in general for not keeping any of the kittens that we foster, such as the more kittens that we keep, the harder it is for us to keep up with the fostering, the less fostering work that we can do, the fewer kittens that we're able to, and mom cats that we're able to sort of, I hate using the word rescue, but let's just say it, the fewer kittens and mom cats that we're able to rescue. So that is probably the biggest reason, but it's also one of those reasons. It's a little, it's kind of hard to fit your head around because it's kind of like a theoretical reason. It's not a very specific reason. So I can give you a couple of slightly more specific reasons also. One that's kind of a medium specificity reason is that of course, we've already got a lot of faculty, and I already feel like I don't always keep up with them the way that I should. So I think having fewer faculty means more time to treat the faculty that we have the way that they all deserve, and that's important. And then I'll give you the most specific reason, or one of the most specific. There's other reasons that I'm not going to do an exhaustive list of reasons. Just trust me, there's also other reasons. But another good reason not for us not to keep Millet here is I know that we would love to see a dog return to the Kitten Academy. We would love to have a dog, and we kind of have a plan for what dog and where and all of that kind of stuff. But we're putting it off because we don't have the bandwidth for taking care of a whole new kind of animal right now. It's a tough thing, and we're going to need a lot of time and energy to make that happen the way that would be right. And we're never going to find that time and energy if every time that DJ says she wants to keep a kitten, we do. And I just want to be clear, I like to keep all the kittens too, but I've learned not to say it no matter how much I feel it. And mostly I want to keep the mom cats. I guess I'm more of a mom cat person, and I do. Every single one of them I want to keep. Flower I really want to keep, and Port I really want to keep, and all of the ones that have come before, Myth, I really miss Myth and Rumor. They were both so sweet. Even though not technically mom cats. So that's not my point. My point is we do want to see, a new dog to arrive at the academy and give these kittens the dog training that they deserve. But that's going to be a ways coming. And yeah, Dorada P, that is the plan, is actually the plan, which has plenty of time to change. It's going to be quite a while before we can implement the dog plan, and it will like I said, it'll never get implemented if we don't get kittens adopted out and we start keeping them. But if it does happen right now, the way that we're thinking is we would actually, Elsie, guys remember Elsie was from a breeder that my mom knew back in Illinois, who breeds and trains golden retrievers. And Elsie was actually one of her dogs that she had trained for 3 or 4 years, and then found that Elsie had a little bit of a genetic problem that meant that she was no good for breeding. And as much as I think there's very good arguments for adopting from a shelter and not from a breeder, believe me, look, that's what we do here. I understand all of that. I do think that there's also. Here's what happens with the breeder. The breeder, like I said, she trains these dogs. She shows them they're trained for agility, like Elsie was trained for agility, which is strange for a golden, but it works out. That's why Elsie was a little bit smaller than some goldens. And as she does this and trains them, the ones that she keeps on for potential future breeding and such, they get to be a little bit older. And as they become senior dogs, they stop competing. At that point, as a breeder, she doesn't have much to do with them anymore. And then I think it would be a perfect thing for us to do is to come and adopt one of those retired agility dogs from her that just doesn't have anywhere else to go. It basically, it's not adopting from a shelter. I understand the difference here, but it is kind of the same sort of idea. We're taking a dog that is now a senior dog already and is going to that would really benefit from coming to stay with us, I guess, is what I'm saying. So that's the plan that I would like. I think that's the right way. And yes, it's been a long time. Normally I try not to address this stuff so directly, but yeah, Elsie hasn't been with us for a while now. And if you missed that news, this is a good chance for me to just transition into talking about something else, which is our website. And I know I was going to say this. I was thinking about this before I started today's close-up. That I don't think enough of you visit our website on a regular basis because that's where we always post that kind of news and make sure that it's there in our blog somewhere. But more importantly, our blog contains all of my very best photos, the ones that I take the time to go through, and we make sure that they're properly exposed and color corrected and all that kind of stuff, and then we publish them on the website. So if you don't go to our website ever, and I feel like a lot of people don't, it is the place to go to get all of those best photos and all of the really important news, as few and far between as those news items can be. And the reason that I'm talking about it today is that yesterday we had a big photo shoot with the Brady Bunch, and we were so far behind on publishing anything on the website that I've gone and edited everything from the photo shoot yesterday. So that was basically what I did yesterday. Was I did a big photo shoot with the Brady Bunch, and then I edited all the photos from the photo shoot, and then I am publishing them right now. In fact, they're all being uploaded to the website as we speak. So today we will have the newest post on the website. Go check it out later today or tomorrow, don't forget. And you will see tons and tons of pictures at the website of the Brady Bunch that are really fun. And not just the ones from yesterday's photo shoot, by the way. There was a previous photo shoot of them flying in the living room, and all of those are going to be published too. It's a lot of photos. In fact, I think it's 300 or 400 photos altogether. It's going to be one of our biggest blog posts ever as far as photo count goes because I'm behind. There were 184 pictures from yesterday, and I want to say roughly 100 from the shoot before, and they're all going to go up in the same blog post. It's going to be kind of extreme. So check it out when you get a chance. The website, by the way, kitten.academy. I like to tell everybody there's no com and there's no W's in kitten.academy. It literally is just kitten.academy. Hal, I know you're yelling at me right now because you want food. I know that yell. I've learned it. You know what, though? There's food over there, Hal. And you should have learned that by now. How can I move with these two curled up and sleeping in my lap, though? Hal, how are we going to do this? Megalina just posted the link to the website in the chat. And the last post that's there is an art post, which we do every few months, thanks to Syl. They're wonderful. We've got a little bit of an art challenge that she does every few months on Twitter, and it's wonderful. I can't even say enough nice things about everybody that participates with art, and it's just wonderful how creative and talented so many of you are. I mean, really, really talented. And some of you have talent. Look, is he going to just eat on his own without even any prompting at all? Some of you have a real talent for fine art, and then some of you you have a talent to just for words or for other things, and you've all presented those in wonderful ways, and I love it. That's off the topic, though. My point was that the blog post with all the pictures I was just talking about, that's going to have just hundreds of pictures. It's really over the top. That should be going up later today. So if you go there right now, you won't see it, but if you go later today, you will. And now that I'm starting to move and trying to pick Hal up and get him to eat, he's peeing. Let's move him over to the litter box, even though he hates the litter box and is going to jump right out. I'm trying to teach him a lesson that he's just not learning, like the food. He's an obstinate one. It's going to take him a while. I think we're going to end up wiping him again during today's close-up. That kitten that was sleeping in my lap, and he's still just sleeping over there. It looks from here like that's Rio. I think it is Rio. Rio, I mean this one. And then this one is Rotterdam. I can tell that from here. Okay. Come here, Hal. Let's see if we can get you to eat while we're sitting here. This is going to be tricky, though, because I'm not holding the camera. Hang on, bud. So I don't know if he's in the frame or not. This is probably not going to work whatsoever. But if he is in the frame, let me illustrate to you what I was talking about. where I take just a little bit of food and put it on the roof of his mouth, and he doesn't like that very much. Oh, but it's usually enough to get him started. And then I'll try to switch him to eating a little bit from my hand and slowly transition that to the bowl. He's not going for any of it right now. This is not what he was yelling about, apparently. It's like having a little baby and you just... Oh, wait, it is. Okay, there he is going to eat. Oh, there we go. Now he's going to go for my fingers. And I would like to move him over to the bowl. He was eating from the bowl this morning, so it's not a complete stranger to him anymore. I think he still would prefer to be finger-fed, though. Buddy, you don't always get to choose. This is some awkward camera work. I'm so sorry. Oh, good. We're slowly inching him closer to the bowl while he's eating, though. Okay, now let's see if I can just trick him into transitioning by setting this down here for him. Hang on. Look at all that food right here on my fingers. Look, it's on my fingers. Look, it's right here on my fingers. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on. Let's not stop just because I set it down. You're going to have to sit a little closer to the bowl if you want that to work. Come here. What just happened? Yeah, that's another trick is move the bowl by them. And I didn't want to move the bowl because Sid here was eating, but Sid's very good at eating, so he'll figure it out again if he wants to go back to it. He won't mind the fact that I moved the bowl away from him. And now we've got Hal eating again. One last trick that we have to do a lot with little kittens is they can have some trouble figuring out where to bite the food, and especially if they get to the edge of the bowl, a lot of them will just chew on the edge of the bowl for a while and not even realize that they're not getting anything. So I like to pile up a big pile of food in front of them and also make a little ridge on top so it's easy for them to bite. They don't get that treatment for very long, but long enough to make sure that they get the whole idea. So there's our guy. Also, looks like Rio has woken up and come to talk to us. Rio, did you just suddenly realize that your lap was gone? He just woke up and he's like, wait, I was in a lap when I fell asleep, and now the lap's all the way over there. I gotta complain about this. Yes, you are complaining about it. All right, noted, buddy. We got it. We got the complaint. Let's just double check to make sure that I'm right about this being Rio. Yes, it is. There's his belly spot. So there we go. Sorry about the rude awakening, Rio. I know, it's not what you were looking for. Well, okay, we've only got a few minutes left, but the good news is this morning I know exactly where the Brady Bunch is, so let's go see them real quick, and I'll show you something else, a little behind the scenes before we head down there, okay? Just to give you a little extra preview. Plus, look at that. Hal's still eating. Let's just sneak out if we can. I don't want to leave my coffee on the floor, so let me grab that. And then I still have to come back because I left all kinds of stuff out in the room. Today's mug, by the way, is Eddie. So look, we're going to come down to my office here, which is a mess. Everything's a mess. I haven't cleaned yet today. But here's yesterday's photo shoot still set up. You ready for this? So this is behind the scenes of what we did yesterday. We did photos of the kittens with sort of a sunflower theme and a little bit of clouds in the back and all that stuff. And as you can see, we just put a little thing on top of one of those cages and get them all up on top there, and that's how we do it. It's you stay professional, but it is not. In fact, look at this. We got a couple of like lights that we got that are really, really bad lights, and we're pointing those at the backdrop, and then to light the subject, we're using these. There's me. Hi, everybody. So yeah, it's not super professional. It's just we got to just scrape by on what we got, but it works. It's good. And you know, I shouldn't say scrape by because I know that we're definitely doing it in a way that some people couldn't, but also not nearly as professional as it should be for people to say all the nice things they say about my photography. I really always feel guilty about it because. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, here we are at the Brady Bunch now, and 3 of them are hanging out in the cage, in the hammock, and probably on the stream because I think I put this on the stream earlier. And here we have this is Potato up close looking at us. Hi, Potato. I know you kids just woke up. And that's Corn. And that's Millet. Hi, Millie. Good to see you too, Millet. Oh, big stretch. I almost grabbed the camera. That's our Millet. And then over here in the tree, we have Mom Flower. Hi, Flower. She always looks so angry, but she's always so sweet. And then Rye is up here at the top, just chilling. Hi, Rye. You picked some very nice lighting to hang out in, didn't you? See if I can open this curtain just a little bit more, though. There we go. So there we have it. Let me wrap up by saying, before I thank you all for watching, I want to say, because we're in here and thinking about it, thank you all for helping us in all the ways that you have over time. I think I mentioned in a previous close-up, but I literally can't say it enough, and I want you all to know how grateful I am to all the folks that have ever contributed to our Patreon, whether you do today, whether you did in the past. I've mentioned before, all of those Patreon funds that are in excess of what we need to spend in a month, they get saved in a war chest. And, then when we have something that is extraordinary, like Millet is extraordinary, we have everything that we need already, thanks to all of you. And I like to always say that, we never have to ask ourselves, well, what should we do for this kitten? We always just get to say, we want to do the very best possible for this kitten. And that's thanks to all of you. And it is greatly appreciated. I want you all to know that. So that is because, as I've mentioned, Millet is going to go in for surgery to correct the pectus excavatum. Is how the doctor says it, so I guess I should say it that way. And it's exciting. It's very exciting. Not quite scheduled yet, so I'll let you know when it is, but that is going to happen. And after that, I also want to say, of course, thank you all. Even if you don't contribute to the Patreon, you do contribute to getting these kittens adopted. If you are watching this video, whether you know it or not, you are contributing to helping get these kittens adopted. Because just watching raises our numbers on YouTube, and then YouTube recommends us to more people, and then there's more people that see the kittens that could potentially adopt them. Even if you couldn't potentially adopt them, even if you're in another country, it still works out to help get these kittens adopted. And all you had to do was watch, and it really counts. So thank you for that. Greatly appreciated. And then before I go, I want to address one thing real quick. I saw somebody in the middle of the video said they got an ad, and that presumably they got an ad in the middle of the video. That is not supposed to happen. I will take a look on the settings and see if I can figure out what went wrong if that happened. But it's a good reminder for me to say, we do sometimes let YouTube put ads on our videos. We never let them put them in the middle of the video. We never let them put an ad that is not skippable. We always tell them if they're going to put an ad at the beginning or at the end, it has to be one that you can skip when you want to, because that's important. And of course, also, if anybody ever gets an ad that includes something that we wouldn't approve of, like sad stories, that's something people like the ASPCA and similar groups that like to make very sad advertisements. They like to advertise on channels like ours because we're very related to what they're doing. And we don't like that because they tend to use that same sort of emotional exploitation in their videos that we just can't get behind, and we don't want people that are coming to see us to see that. So all of that is a long-winded way of saying if you see one of those ads that is emotionally exploitive or otherwise seems inappropriate for what we're doing, send us an email. Headmaster@kitten.academy is that email, headmaster@kitten.academy. Let us know. YouTube does provide us ways to block certain advertisers, and we do it all the time. We've blocked the ASPCA and PETA and plenty of other things you wouldn't even think of because they've tried to put ads on that we would not approve of. And so I want you to know that. If you see something like that, let us know. And then, like I said, the ads in the middle, I'll check it out and see what's wrong with that. There should never be an ad in the middle, and there should never be an ad you can't skip because that's not cool. Uh, that's it, everybody. Don't forget to check our website later today for some amazing photos of these four boys and their mom. There's some good photos there from yesterday and from before. Or will be there soon, really soon. That's what I'm going to go do next. So, all right, we're done. I got to go. It's been too long. I kept talking too much. I rambled. I apologize. Thanks again to everybody. You guys are all awesome, really, in so many ways. I can't even say. That's it. See you probably tomorrow.